central India is concerned, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and others. So the message is of cultural diversity, while India, yes, maybe having a growth rate which is making it the bright spot in the world economy. It may be having the British, the brilliant minds who are voices behind the startup foundations of India. But when it comes to the roots, when it is about celebrations of India's local diversity, India's rich cultural heritage, Prime Minister Modi is leading from that. And he is in Assam. Of course, Assam assembly elections are very, very far away. The general elections will be only next year. It is not about sending a message for an electoral point of view, but this is an election. This is an optics of sending a message of connect, that the Prime Minister of India continues to travel to Northeast. He has been to multiple Northeastern states. And, in the last 7-8 years, we have seen NEDA being created, which has pushed a lot about infrastructure developments, developments of hospitals, AIIMS and other institutes in various parts of Northeast. So if you travel to Northeast, Ridhima, we have seen the connectivity and the overall push that has come from New Delhi visible in those states.
Good evening, Maria. Anusha this side. We continue to talk about the developments, live visuals on our screen from Guwahati. The city which is called the gateway to the northeast, as my colleague Maria Shakil was pointing out. This is a celebration of diversity. The elections are not here, but the Prime Minister is taking the message that when it comes to reaching out to the roots, your cultural diversity, celebration, that is something that the Union government and the BJP stands with, and that is a message that he has consistently reiterated. Also very interesting is the fact that there is an inauguration of the first AIIMS of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Guwahati. And from the medical, infrastructure point of view, this is a very important development that has come in. My colleague Preeti with us on the broadcast. Preeti, tell us more about how the itinerary of the Prime Minister looks like.
Yes, already the day's program is almost about to come to an end, but yes, now Prime Minister Narendra Modi is doing a road show from Koinadhara until Holsazai Stadium, where he will be witnessing the extravaganza of Bihu, the mega Bihu performance by 11,300 dancers at the same place in Holsazai Stadium. And he is now about to enter Holsazai Stadium. He will be entering the stadium, where he will be witnessing the Bihu, and then from here itself, from Kolkata itself, he will be going back to the airport. He will be taking his chopper.
There was also this giant performance that was there. Bihu dancers all set to set a world record. It's a big Guinness record feat that will be set by the state of Assam. You've had the Chief Minister who has had a direct involvement in this entire celebration that has been planned. Tell us more about that, Preeti.
Yes, 11,300 dancers from all around the state have gathered here in Kolkata Stadium, and I have to tell you that they are excited for this day, for this event, since a month now. And there are master trainers who have trained the dancers in the district levels, and then they have come together to do this performance here today. And even for today, they have been doing this together in Kolkata Stadium since last 1 week to 2 to 3 days. They have practiced for this day to perform in front of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because this is going to the Guinness Book of World Records as this is the largest group dance group performance to perform live. So this is happening today, and already the numbers have been registered. It is 11,300 and more. So it is certainly making to the Guinness Book of World Records, and the dancers are already ready. The drummers, who we say Bhulia, they are also ready. And today is Boru Bihu in Assam, and tomorrow is the first day of Assam's calendar. So everybody is in the vibe of Bihu, Bohag Bihu, as you say. So that is the vibe. We can say it's all Bihu, and they are still waiting for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to arrive, when they will immediately after he reaches here. All of them, the 11,300 performers, will be performing it live.
What a sight that would be to behold, Preeti, when over 11,000 dancers are going to put up that show. I was reading about it. These are well-acclaimed dancers. There are drummers who have been called from different parts of the state. This is a wonderful show and performance that these artists are going to put forward. The state government has made a lot of efforts. In the past, have we seen any such cultural activity of this nature?
no, then this kind of bihu keep happening, but not as large as this one, because nobody have ever witnessed so many drummers and dancers coming together. Like 11,300 is quite a number, you see, and they are all performing together in the same costume of a bihu. And on the first day, we can say this is today's Guru Bihu, and people are in the vibe of Bohag Bihu. So never ever they have seen such kind of collective performance, we can say, because Bihu keeps on happening in the various stage performances, even in the villages. The performances keep happening. They visit the houses and they go for collective Bihu dancing. But this kind of large numbers of Bihu dancers coming together, drummers coming together, it's a different vibe, totally a different vibe when so many drummers come together and beat the drum, beat the dhul, as we say. We say it as dhul when it comes to bihu. So dhul is a different vibe altogether, and when so many dhul coming together, so many dhuliyas beating the drums, it's completely a different vibe. And you see, the dancers are also quite in number.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to look at because all the costumes, today you will get to witness that all the dancers in the same costume of muga. They're wearing red blouse and then the muga chadar.
Yeah.
It's a completely a different sight to witness, completely a different sight for the
So
people
Preeti,
of Assam.
it's the cultural display in full force and full swing, and I'm very excited to see those visuals. As you point out, the traditional cultural attire, thousands of dancers together, drummers together. Bihu each year is auspicious and special, but this year the kind of celebrations that we are witnessing are unprecedented. It's on a huge scale. What is the message that the state government is trying to put out, especially with the visit of the Prime Minister?
And definitely we can say that with the visit of the Prime Minister, because Bihu keeps on happening, it is the lifeline of the people of Assam. But when Prime Minister of the country is visiting, it is definitely a message that they are concerned about the emotions of the state, because Bihu is an emotion for the people of Assam. It is a lifeline for the people of Assam. And when someone at the highest position of the country, the Prime Minister, is visiting to witness them performing live, it's completely different for them, because along with that, we can say that all these performers, I have to tell, they are getting 25,000 each, like they are getting a contribution from the government, and they are being provided with 25,000 rupees each. That is also another happiness for them, because this is already anyways.
Preeti Priyadarshini, my colleague, getting us all the details. We spoke about the Bihu celebrations. Yes, they happen in Assam each year. But the scale, the manner and the colors that you're going to witness in the state of Assam, in the city of Guwahati, is unprecedented. You have over 11,000 dancers coming together in a traditional mekhla. That's the attire that they're going to wear. You'd also have drummers that have come in from different parts of the state. They've been practicing for hours. There are special trainers that have been brought in. There's also a keen interest that the state government has taken in order to ensure that all the celebrations happen in the right spirit, with the right color and with the right amount of enthusiasm. Prime Minister is going to be there at that event. Let's just dip in and see what's happening.
किस तरह से उत्तर पूर्व में स्वास्थ्य की सुविधाएं बढ़ रही है, वो हम पिछले कई वर्षों में देख रहे हैं। और उत्तर पूर्व के लोगों को इलाज के लिए दूसरे राज्यों में ना जाना पड़े, दिल्ली ना आना पड़े, वो उस दिशा में मोदी सरकार ने बीते कई वर्षों में काम किया है। और न केवल स्वास्थ्य की सुविधाओं के मामले में, बल्कि हम देख रहे हैं कि आधारभूत संरचना को बेहतर करने में भी उत्तर पूर्व में बहुत काम हुआ है। खास बात यह है कि जब भी प्रधानमंत्री इस बात का जिक्र करते हैं कि उत्तर पूर्व बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, और उसमें हमने देखा है कि ये एक निर्देश भी दिया गया कि लगातार जो अलग-अलग
RP Singh of the BJP is joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, it's going to be a wonderful sight to behold in the city of Guwahati when those celebrations happen today. But apart from the Bihu celebrations, which are equally important, there's also the inauguration of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in the city of Guwahati, the one of its kind in Northeast. The foundation stone was laid by the Prime Minister himself back in 2017.
Well, happy Bihu, happy Vaisakhi to all your viewers. I mean, it's such a big event which is happening in Assam today, Northeast. The Prime Minister is there on ground, and people are there welcoming him on this occasion of the New Year, the Bihu, as per the Assamia rituals. And also, when whatever promises are being made, whatever foundation stones are being laid, the projects are completed also. It's not that merely foundation stones are laid. I mean, Prime Minister ensures that he follows up each and every project, and ensure that their projects are completed also. Otherwise, I mean, all these 60 years only foundation stones were laid. No one bothered that whether the project is completed or not. Now, the first time, whichever project Prime Minister takes, whether it's All India Medical Institute or the roads or infrastructure, I mean, whatever project he launches, he ensures that that's completed, and he keeps track, his PMO keeps track of each and every project.
Indeed, and building of infrastructure in the city of Guwahati is very important. The city is called the gateway to the northeast. There's a special emphasis, sir, that the government has put, the union government has put in the infrastructure creation in the northeast region, which has been lagging for many decades. Keeping in mind that development in Assam is crucial, Arunachal is crucial, and various other states of the northeast, there's a special fund that has also been set up. This is an effort in the right direction and perhaps should pick up speed in the days to come.
Well, all these years, Northeast was neglected. I mean, now every cabinet minister has to visit Northeast in a particular duration and has to follow whatever projects are being launched by Government of India, whether it's roads, whether it's hospitals, or whether it's any other infrastructure, whether it's colleges or institutions otherwise. Every project is followed up by the cabinet minister and the Prime Minister himself, because all these years, Northeast was never integrated that way in the country that the development was there. But today Northeast is equal shareholder in the India's development. And then it's a matter of time when one of these Northeast states will be the growth engine in the Indian development story also.
So I want to raise this point today with about 11,000 Bihu dancers coming together and Bihu being celebrated with great fervor and colour in the city of Guwahati. There are special arrangements that the state government has said, and a world record is going to be set today when the over 11,000 dancers come together and perform. It is often accused that BJP comes with a cultural template and diversity is not something which is in the dictionary of the party. But when the Prime Minister himself takes these efforts, and there are efforts for greater integration, cultural, political and economic integration of states like Northeast, where the cultural diversity is huge, very different from mainland India, it's an indicator of the cultural definition of the BJP, isn't it?
Well, it's whether it's Tamil Nadu, Tamilian culture, or whether it's Assam, the Bihu celebrations, Prime Minister has always ensured that he talks about integration. I mean, and whether it was Tamil Sangam in Varanasi recently. I mean, we had never heard anything of that sort before. So all those initiatives taken by the Prime Minister are landmark in history, in cultural history, and in the history of integration of the country.
Sir, how crucial is cultural integration from the point of view of your party?
Well, it's very important. I mean, it's not political, it's for the nation that the integration should happen. And because, for example, how many people know that there's the Pandas of the Karnataka serve Kedarnath? I mean, it has been their ages, but it has never been explored, never been mentioned in the cultural history. I mean,
or there are various Tamil priests which are present in Kashi, which serve at the leading temples and shrines in the city of Varanasi.
Yes, so I'm saying, so that's what I'm saying. So these are the cultural heritage which we have since ages. I mean, we don't know 1,000 years or how many years it has been there. So only thing is we need to share it with Indians first and then the world also. I mean, today let every Indian know that this is the culture of the country.
Mr. R.P. Singh, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and for your input, sir. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Arun Dhanta, my colleague, is also with us on the show. Arun, let's talk about the development projects that the Prime Minister inaugurates. 2017, when the foundation stone for the All India Institute of Medical Sciences was laid down in Guwahati. This is the broad vision that the government has in terms of expanding medical infrastructure in the country. Today, it was inaugurated. What are the other key development projects?
Well, see, Prime Minister Modi has a very jam-packed schedule in Assam today. In fact, there are 5 to 6 inauguration programs for Prime Minister, starting from, laying the foundation stone of the AIIMS Medical College, and also he has launched a program of Aapke Dwara Ayushman campaign, and in fact, he's also laid a foundation stone for the Assam Advanced Healthcare Innovation Institute. Apart from that, there is a stone bridge which has been inaugurated by Prime Minister. And now, as we speak, Prime Minister Modi is actually heading towards the ground there, where the mega program of a Bihu dance will be organized. And in fact, Assam government is putting all their efforts to bring this in the Guinness Book of World Record, because this is going to be the largest performance of people under one roof. We are told that more than 10,000 dancers will participate in this Bihu dance program, which is very, very close to all the SMEs. And in fact, it's a message as well from the Prime Minister's side, because Assam is not facing any assembly election. And in fact, BJP and Prime Minister have been speaking about the neglected nature of past governments towards the northeast. So Prime Minister Modi spending a complete day there in Assam, and in fact, while he is holding that road show, people on the both sides of the roads welcoming him, greeting him, and Prime Minister Modi is also showing his love for the northeastern people. So the messaging is, of course, very clear from the Prime Minister's side, that we not only visit you during the elections time, but also otherwise we are amongst the people. And when you have the facility like AIMS being opened in Assam, which is going to be a huge boon for the health sector, and which will be very helpful for the people of Assam. There, in fact, also will be helpful for the neighboring
and to add to what Arun is pointing out, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated about 3 medical colleges in Assam, including the Nalbari Medical College, Nagaon Medical College and Kokrajhar Medical College. With this, the attempt of the government is to boost the medical infrastructure sector, which has been suffering in the districts of various cities and districts of the northeast. When it comes to the city of Guwahati, its strategic importance is that for greater administrative, cultural, political and economic integration, you need better connectivity, more investment from the central government to build key infrastructure projects. Not to forget that the geographical terrain that the northeast region comprises of is very tricky in nature, and at the same time, to build any kind of project becomes very, very difficult in the northeast region. Now, keeping that in mind, usually the cost of projects in these regions go high, and it takes a long time for these projects to be ready. While not just the inauguration, but also the fact that it was finally finished in the required time, in about 5 years. That's exactly the thing which is to be noted here. You also had Chief Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma, who has announced initiatives to distribute about 1.1 crore Ayushman cards. Now, Ayushman Bharat is a flagship scheme under the union government. He has also said that the numbers are going to increase to about 3.3 crore in the next 1.5 months. Beneficiaries will be able to avail cashless healthcare medical infrastructure treatment, benefits up to 5 lakh with these cards. The thrust right now, as we've been pointing out, this is not the election season, but this is a season where the political class, especially from the BJP, is putting out a message that their aim is for cultural integration, better infrastructure development, and Northeast continues to remain a focus area. That is the key thing to watch out for. Ayushman Bharat, the kind of inauguration that we have seen of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, all of that is going to be very important. Prime Minister has also dedicated about 14,300 crore worth of development projects during his visit to Assam on the occasion of Bihu. Arun Dada continues to be with us on the broadcast. Arun, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone for Assam Advanced Healthcare Innovation Institute. You also have collaboration between IIT Guwahati and the state government, and also there's a methanol plant in Namrup that will come up.
Well, that's right. And this health infrastructure is something which was need of the hour in Assam. In fact, Hemant Biswa Sarma has been working on this direction for last couple of years, and he wanted Prime Minister Modi to come there to inaugurate all these health infrastructures. And in fact, when we are seeing these people who are welcoming or greeting Prime Minister Modi, these are the ones who will be getting benefit out of the AIMS facilities. Of course, the terrain and the geography is something which is not conducive for traveling to different states for good health infrastructure, and therefore it was the need to have a facility like AIMS in the state, which will be very, very helpful for people of the Assam. And apart from that, of course, various other Aapke Dwar Ayushman campaign, which is also going to be a huge campaign, which will help people on a very, very large scale. Of course, this will also have a separate Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which will also benefit people. And there are also, this Healthcare Innovation Institute, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi today. Apart from that, of course, there are some celebration like, he will be participating in that, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of the Guwahati High Court, that is also on his agenda. And then, of course, this massive celebration of the Bihu dance is something which everyone is very keenly watching, because this is Assam government is trying to create a record by having this performance of more than 10,000 dancers under one roof performing those Bihu dances. Prime Minister Modi will, of course, be there witnessing that occasion. So Prime Minister Modi is going there amongst the people, conducting that road show, and he's getting massive support from the people. So the messaging and the signal is, of course, from the Modi government side is very clear that we are not neglecting Northeast. And Prime Minister Modi has been saying that he's the only Prime Minister who has visited.
All right, Arun, as you get us all those details, all eyes on that big celebrations that will happen in Guwahati. It will be a sight to look out for. 11,000 dancers coming together in traditional attires and traditional drums. They've practiced for hours and days to put up this performance, which will be a world record, other than the slew of infrastructure and development projects that the Prime Minister has inaugurated. We talk about that and much more on the other side of a quick break. Stay tuned.
The opposition is saying that fake encounters have become a norm in Uttar Pradesh.
See, creating an incident is very different from what conclusion you are trying to draw. An incident can be created to put the police under pressure, to subvert the process of the law, to create an impression that the writ of the gang still runs. And if an incident of that kind would have occurred, it would not have been only these two people. The way they had acted on 24th of February, that has been seen by all of us, including you, in what way they can act, in the way they can kill a person who has security. The kind of furor they can create, the kind of fear psychosis they can create by their actions. So it could have been any of these motives.
All right. So Mr. Yash, my final question to you, again, there is data out today that since Mr. Yogi Adityanath came to power, there have been 183 criminals who've been killed in encounters such as what we saw today happen in Jhansi. The opposition is saying that this is not rule of law, this is extrajudicial killings, and this has become almost like the norm du jour in Uttar Pradesh. How do you respond to that? Why do these 183 criminals have to be eliminated in encounters as opposed to be produced in court and face a trial?
Every encounter has to go through a very strict legal process, extreme, difficult scrutiny. There's a magisterial inquiry, a police inquiry, which is then vetted by the courts. Then the human rights commissions, they do their own scrutiny. And it is not easy, let me tell you, it's not at all easy to get away with breaking the law, even for us. We stay within the strict parameters of the law, and that is why the STF has existed for the last 25 years. No encounter has been proved to be fake. And you had seen the incident. Everybody had seen the incident and the gruesome nature of the incident. These fellows had no intention of surrendering. So you can imagine that when the police finally corners them, they will not surrender. They are armed with sophisticated weapons. They are going to fire at us. This time their luck ran out, and they came second best.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Amitabh Yash, thanks for joining us. He's the ADG of Uttar Pradesh STF, head of the team that led the operation today and killed Atiq Ahmed's son Asad Ahmed and his associate Ghulam. Let me now open this up because it's become political. The opposition leaders from Akhilesh Yadav to Asaduddin Owaisi are calling this a fake encounter. Mr. Owaisi has taken this one step further, saying that you haven't killed those who killed Junaid and Nisar, but you're only killing Muslim quote-unquote criminals. Let me go across to Aditi Singh of the BJP, Arvind Kumar Jain is former DGP of UP, Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress, Abbas Haider, Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Aditi Singh, how do you respond to this charge? Let me start with what Asaduddin Owaisi said, that you haven't bothered killing the killers of Junaid and Nisar, but you're only killing Muslim criminals. He is saying that this is entirely communally tinted.
So would you say that Dubey, who was also killed in an encounter, Dubey is a very, very common Brahmin last name. So is he now also a Muslim? So perhaps they should do the research in history before coloring culprits in colors of caste and creed and religion. And that, if anything, is politicization. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about caste, you want to talk about creed, you want to talk about religion. Why don't you go ask the families of Umesh Pal? Why don't you go ask the families of the gunmen that were killed, brutally killed on the 24th of February? I can tell you one of them was my constituents. One of them was from Raebareli. You want to go ask their mother how she feels about how this is being colored in political light or in light of caste, creed, and religion? Okay. So perhaps before politicizing it yourself, you should ask, like, who are you defending? You're defending cold-blooded criminals. You've all seen the CCTV footage. They had no intention of surrendering. They literally have pulled guns out. They have gunned down 3 good men on the 24th of February, be it Umesh Pal or be it his government protectees. Yeah. And to justify that and to give it colors of religion or religious sentiments or caste or creed or any kind of division is absolutely unacceptable.
So let me ask Abbas Haider. I'm just going to list out what Asad Ahmed is accused of in just the Umesh Pal case alone. He planned the shootout. He coordinated with the gang members. He looked after the logistics that were involved in carrying out the crime. He gave an iPhone to one of the shooters with details of Umesh Pal's live location so that he knows where to go and how to kill this man. He identified the SUVs that were used in the execution of this crime. He also plotted and planned an escape route for the shooters once this job was done. Now, please tell me, why are there sympathies for a man who is accused of such grave charges, caught on camera, on CCTV in broad daylight in Prayagraj, killing a government-protected lawyer and government-protected witness?
See, Zaka, we strongly believe that strictest action should be taken against any criminal. But there is a difference between a criminal and a convicted criminal and an accused.
Amitabh Yash, thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. I want to first know from you, did you get any directive from the UP government or the political leadership on what happened on 24th of February? Right after that, what was the instruction given to you by the political leadership on going after the people who were seen on camera in broad daylight killing Umesh Pal?
On 24th of February, we all
Well, cutting across to the city of Guwahati, those are the visuals of the Prime Minister's roadshow, which is underway right now. Well, it's the auspicious occasion of the Spring Festival Bihu. Each year, it is celebrated with great fervour and great enthusiasm in the state of Assam and other parts of Northeast. Today's day is celebrated in different ways across the country. Today in Assam, there'd be a different kind of show as well. You'd have over 11,000 dancers in traditional mekhla. They'd be performing to the drum beats, traditional drummers who have come in from different parts of Assam. They would set a world record of sorts. and this will be recorded in the Guinness Book of World Record. The Prime Minister is going to there to witness this event. Apart from this cultural celebration of sorts, which the Prime Minister will be a part of, as I earlier pointed out, there are some key infrastructure and development projects that the Prime Minister has inaugurated. Not just the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Guwahati, but much more. There's some more breaking news which is coming in at this point in time. And there's a big piece of breaking news coming in. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is on his alleged involvement in the Delhi liquor scam case. Chief Minister has been summoned for the 16th of April. This is a piece of big breaking news that we are getting for you at this point in time. This is on the alleged liquor scam in the follow-up investigation of this case. In this case, you already have the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who is lodged, who is in the custody right now. My colleague Arunima with us on the broadcast. Arunima, what more do we know?
On April 16th, Arvind Kejriwal has been asked to come and join investigation. There has been allegations right from the word go that Kejriwal was aware about what was going on. In fact, if you look at the charge sheet that has been filed both by the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI, in the ED charge sheet specifically, there is one incident that is mentioned that Vijay Nair, one of the main accused in this case, from a Delhi hotel, made a call in presence of what has been called the South Group. He made a call to a number, and the claim is that it was a video call, and the claim is that it was Arvind Kejriwal who picked up the call on the other line and assured the South Group members that Vijay Nair is his man and whatever he is saying has the consent of the Chief Minister. So even though CBI has not directly named the Chief Minister of Delhi in any form, ED has. And now that CBI is investigating the case further, and I can confirm to you by speaking to my sources that CBI feels confident of enough material to charge sheet Manish Sisodia. Before they do that, I think they want to see whether Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has anything further to add to their investigation.
Ashish Mehershi, my colleague, is also with us on the broadcast. Ashish, in what capacity he has been summoned?
So he has been summoned as, the Chief Minister of Delhi, but more importantly, he is neither an accused, neither a witness in the case as of now. But as of now, most important is that, if you see the charge sheets and the remand notes that have come till now in the, that has come in public domain, whether it is CBI or whether it is ED, they basically highlight the role of Arvind Kejriwal as well. As Arunima was mentioning, it very clearly indicated that...
Ashish, I'm going to request you to stay with us on the broadcast. There's an important piece of clarification that Ashish puts out right now, that he's neither a witness nor an accused at this point in time. Mr. Amit Malviya is joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Mr. Malviya. Thank you so much for speaking with us. The CBI has summoned Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
It's not unexpected. As head of the government and as the Chief Minister of Delhi, he is naturally responsible for all the decisions that his cabinet takes. And in this particular instance, Manish Sisodia, who happens to be a prominent minister in his government, was responsible for this massive liquor scam, which is now unfolding. And for many weeks on stretch, he continues to be in jail. So it's natural that Arvind Kejriwal will be summoned and questioned. As the Chief Minister of Delhi and as law-abiding citizen, Arvind Kejriwal should present himself to the agencies.
Mr. Malviya, I'm sure the central agency will do its job and work according to the rule of law, but the opposition parties have often accused the BJP of misusing the central agencies. What do you have to say to them?
Well, if that was the case, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia would have got relief from the court. And we have seen that months on, both of them continue to be in jail, and the courts seem to have found enough evidence against both of them and their involvement and complicity in these scams. So this charge that agencies are being misused is a political one. We have a very robust judicial system. Everyone should believe in that. And when the agency summons you, show up for investigation and cooperate with them.
As far as the Liquorgate investigation is concerned, Mr. Malviya, the last point that I want to raise with you, various high-profile names, including the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, they have been under the radar. He's under custody right now. Do you think that prima facie there are grounds to charge sheet other people or make them accused? Because at this point, Mr. Kejriwal is neither a witness nor an accused, but there are alleged ties that he had with Vijay Nair.
It is not about alleged ties. The fact is that he is the Chief Minister of Delhi. And as Chief Minister, he's naturally responsible for all the decisions that his cabinet takes. So if Manish Sisodia, as Deputy Chief Minister, is behind bars, then can Arvind Kejriwal keep himself out of this loop is the question. Therefore, let the investigation happen. The CBI or whichever agency is looking into it will decide what role Arvind Kejriwal had and accordingly proceed under law. We must not prejudge what will happen to Arvind Kejriwal, or for that matter, are there other high-profile people who are involved? Because it seems that there are several people, some prominent names from the southern states, namely Telangana, the daughter of Chief Minister of Telangana, are all in the net. There have been evidences that are sort of coming out, and we should wait for the investigation to unfold.
All right, Mr. Malviya, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining us on the broadcast. That's the BJP IT cell head, Mr. Amit Malviya, saying that the rule of law will do its job. The entire argument that agencies are being misused is a political one. Ashish Maharshi with us on the broadcast. Ashish, you were making the point that neither an accused nor a witness at this point.
Yeah, as of now, we can say that he is neither an accused nor a witness. But his certainly role was highlighted when it comes to the charge sheets that have been filed till now. If you see the number of remand notes till now. And as Arunima was mentioning, there is one video call which has been mentioned by both the agencies, whether it is CBI or an ED. They mentioned basically that, there was something called a South group where people from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh are involved. And we all know that one of the senior most member of parliament from Andhra Pradesh, Magunta Srinivasulu Reddy, as well as the daughter of the Chief Minister of Telangana is basically under the ambit of investigation. And it was mentioned that, when Vijay Nair was basically, trying to get a deal struck with the South group, they basically did a video call, and he basically, Kejriwal in the video call very clearly mentioned to the South group that he's my person and, you can basically strike a deal with him. So his role has been highlighted. Interestingly, we know that Manish Sisodia has not been able to get bail. What has he told the investigative agencies during the investigation, whether he has said that there is some sort of role of Arvind Kejriwal or not, that is also going to be critical. But certainly this is a big step because a sitting Chief Minister of Delhi, he's being summoned by
Central Bureau of
Investigation.
Ashish, you've tracked this case and the nitty-gritties of it, the charge sheets, the multiple FIRs that have been filed, the multiple charge sheets and the FIRs that have been filed. Help us understand Vijay Nair and his alleged involvement in the Liquorgate scandal. And there was a certain call that you were talking about. In that call, was it said that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal was also present? What is the link of Arvind Kejriwal which is being probed by the agency if you were to come to the nuts and bolts of it?
The most important aspect here would be that how this basically the alleged twists and turns were brought into the entire the liquor policy.
Yeah.
They are, if you see, they say that, the entire policy was basically changed. This policy was changed at the behest of the South group. The South group was basically staying in a hotel in Delhi. And certainly, it was changed by the South group. And, if you see this entire policy came in a pen drive.
Yeah.
And if you see the statement of the secretary to Manish Sisodia, he has basically confessed before the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI, saying that the commission was increased from 6 to 12%, which was neither in the part of the GOM or the part of the cabinet.
Yeah.
But suddenly there was a change that was brought by this, the interference of the South group.
Yeah.
And these changes were made and a pen drive was handed over to C. Arvind in the presence of Arvind Kejriwal.
Right.
So there are two areas of concern for Arvind Kejriwal. One is about the call that we were talking about, the video call. Secondly, when this entire twist and turns were brought into the alleged liquor policy, which was basically done to basically garner some sort of benefits from the South group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Ashish, if I've understood correctly, just to reiterate for our viewers, the big breaking news at this point in time, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. He has been summoned for the 16th of April. This pertains to the liquor scam, the scam which is under investigation by the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate. At this point, the capacity in which Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is being summoned is neither of a witness or of an accused. But as my colleague Ashish Mahershi and Arunima have been reporting, there are certain links that the CBI is looking for. One is a video call with Vijay Nair, one of the key accused in this case. The second is the manner in which policy was twisted and tweaked for allegedly getting some kind of benefits and kickbacks. Now, to establish that and to figure out the role of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned him. What is the BJP saying? We had Mr. Amit Malviya from the BJP. He argued that if the opposition thinks this is some kind of a witch hunt or a political vendetta, they can go to the courts of law. And upon any kind of application in a court of law, they can seek any kind of relief that they want. It's a political argument to say that ED and CBI are being misused. They are merely doing their job. Let's see how this progresses. Other than legal, this is going to be a big political story moving forward. You already have the number 2 man in the Aam Aadmi Party and in the Delhi government, who was former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, who is in custody right now. Satyendra Jain, who has been lodged in jail for months and he has not been able to secure a bail at all. There are reactions which are coming in on the story. We'll continue tracking all of them. Ashish Mahershi continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Ashish, coming back to you, let's talk about the policy kickbacks and the manner in which the policy was changed for the alleged benefits to the Aam Aadmi Party.
So, basically, if you see what has been highlighted by the CBI and the ED is that there was basically a criminal conspiracy where the entire policy was tweaked after basically there was a deal that was struck. There was an alleged deal that was struck between the Aam Aadmi Party senior netas and the South Group, the alleged South Group, which involved senior people from Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana. If you see Magunta Srinivaslu Reddy, he's a member of parliament, and Kavita, Kavita, who's the daughter of the sitting chief minister of Telangana. Now, what they have been able to find out till now is that there was around 100 crore rupees deal that was struck between the manufacturers, the wholesalers, as well as the retailers, and ultimately these licenses were basically given in lieu of certain bribes. It is not only this; it is about also the percentage of money as commissions that was increased for the wholesale trade. It was initially decided to increase the wholesale trade commission from 5% to 6%, which was an increase of 1%. But suddenly, when the South Group got into the entire thing, the percentage was increased from 6 to 12%, and that 6% was basically coming as 100 crore rupees of kickback. That was basically in lieu of favors being granted.
Ashish, if I were to ask you very simply, and as we talk about the fate of Arvind Kejriwal, how this is going to play out legally speaking, because right now he's not an accused, he's not been charge sheeted, he's not named in the FIR, forget charge sheet. Why is it that the likes of Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain have not been able to secure a bail? One argument that the opposition often raises in the public domain is this is a witch hunt, this is a vendetta, these are fudged up cases, there is no evidence on record. All that being said, none of these arguments have held up in a court of law.
So, these arguments, as I have always said, that no case, even if you say there is a political witch hunt, the law basically looks at evidence, they look at truth. And beyond that, they do not look at anything. That is what the law looks at. And in case these cases were fudged, in cases these cases could not stand on their own legs in the court of law, Satyendra Jain would have been out. He would have been out on bail. Same is the case with Manish Sisodia. So the investigative agencies, they knock your door, and they don't knock your door until and unless they have absolute evidence in their hand. And in case they decided to arrest Satyendra Jain, there was evidence of money laundering, where the evidence was on how huge amount of money was laundered through the Kolkata-based shell companies, and it was brought into Delhi, and then huge amount of land was bought. And similarly, in the case of Manish Sisodia, being the excise minister, policy was twisted and turned. There are statements, there is evidence which shows that there was a violation of the policy. People who were basically not supposed to be in different domains, like if somebody is into manufacturing, you can't get into retail. If somebody is in retail, you can't get into wholesale. Dummy companies were basically operating, and it was an absolute violation of the policy which was happening. Ultimately, if you see, they have been able to find out there was a person called the person who was basically representing K. Kavita on a company, and that equity was only divested because there was certain sort of share that was basically...
That's the charge that the agency is probing right now. Ashish, there are 2 points I want to talk to you about. First, let's come to the K. Kavita factor. The South lobby or the South cartel. It's one big part of the investigation. The Central Bureau of Investigation, the Enforcement Directorate, they have had multiple visits to the south of the country in different cities, questioned different people. K. Kavita, different rounds of questions. She's not an accused in this case so far. But the South cartel or the South lobby, how critical that facet is in this entire investigation, and are there any alleged links of Arvind Kejriwal with that lobby?
As I said earlier as well, basically it's about a call. The call basically was done by Vijay Nair. There was a video call. And on the other side, there were people from the South lobby, which basically were looking at whether Arvind Kejriwal or the government is basically in Delhi going to support or not the entire change in policy that the South group was looking at. And then there's this alleged video call, basically in that Arvind Kejriwal has given assurance to the other side, saying that Vijay Nair is basically my man and you don't need to worry about anything. So here, this call, and as I said, then the way entire policy was twisted and turned into the favor of the South group, where the percentage of commission was increased from 6% to 12%. And we all know that, they have been able to find out, the CBI and the ED, they both have been able to find out that the South lobby people were basically staying in a hotel in Delhi. They used the business center. And interestingly, they also photocopied the policy that they drafted. So the entire policy was drafted outside and it was implemented by the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi.
Ashish, stay with us on the broadcast. There are many facets that I would like to talk to you about. Right now, there's a reaction coming in from the BJP. Let's cut across to that.
सर पूछेंगे आपने जो घोटाले चारों तरफ की हैं, पानी के बंटवारे में पानी की घोटाला पड़ा हुआ है, स्कूलों में कमरों का घोटाला हुआ है, जमुना सफाई का घोटाला हुआ है, आपने बसों खरीदने में बसों का घोटाला किया है, सबके मुखिया आप हैं और आपको जवाब देना पड़ेगा। अब आपको मालूम पड़ रहा है कि इन घोटालों के कारण से किस प्रकार से दिल्ली तबाह हुई है। जब दिल्ली तबाह हुई तो आपसे पूछताछ वाजिब है, होनी भी चाहिए। आपके सारे मंत्री जेल जाते जा रहे हैं जिनको आप कट्टर ईमानदार बताया करते थे। आज उन मंत्रियों की भी चीख निकल रही है। कट्टर ईमानदार ये नहीं है, आप कट्टर बेईमान हैं। आपको लूटने के लिए आप आए हैं और लूटने की नीयत आपकी साफ साफ जाहिर होती है। जो व्यक्ति आया था परिवर्तन करने के लिए आया था, आज 10 करोड़ का स्विमिंग पूल के अंदर वो स्नान करता है। जो परिवर्तन करने के लिए आया था, सादा जीवन बिताने के लिए, अब ऐशो आराम की ज़िंदगी जीता है। जो आया था परिवर्तन करने के लिए कि मैं भ्रष्टाचार नहीं करूँगा, पूरा जहाँ पे 1-1 लाख रुपए के समोसे बांटे जाते हैं और 10-10 हज़ार रुपये की थालियाँ खाई जाती हैं, जिन्होंने दिल्ली के जीएसटी के पैसे को बर्बाद करके रख दिया। जो दिल्ली का विकास होना चाहिए उसको बर्बाद करके रख दिया। सड़कों का निर्माण होना चाहिए था, जमुना साफ होनी चाहिए थी, फ्री।
Well, that's the reaction coming in from the BJP. We also have Ravula Sridhar Reddy from the BRS, Mr. Majid Memon from the TMC joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to both of you. Thank you so much for speaking. Mr. Reddy, coming to you first. How do you see this move by the CBI? They are saying they are acting as per law, doing their job.
Hello.
Ravula Reddy, I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, the Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This pertains to the Delhi Liquor Gate scam. At this point in time, Mr. Kejriwal is not an accused or a witness in this case, but his alleged links to the liquor policy scam are being probed by the CBI. How do you see this development, sir?
One should be surprised if he is not called for the investigation, because you know the modus operandi of Narendra Modi government today. Every opposition leader, whoever questions Narendra Modi and whomever Narendra Modi cannot win on ground, they will be booked in some case. They will be, implicated in some false case. Cases will be fabricated against them, and they will call for investigation. They will harass them, and already they have put few leaders in jail. And this is going to happen till the general elections in 2024 happens and completed. And at one end, Narendra Modi's government is completely in corruption, and other end they call others corrupt. And we see this is a witch hunt, a case of political vendetta, an attempt to suppress the opposition voices, and in the same direction and in the same activity, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal also has been called today. There is no surprise. This will go on. And entire opposition today realized the fact that Narendra Modi government is out to malign everybody, book cases everybody, suppress everybody. But we are going to continue to fight the autocratic policies of Narendra Modi government and BJP.
There is also this entire angle of the South lobby, the links of an alleged cartel which are being probed. The role of K. Kavita is also under scanner. How do you see that part of the investigation? Because it's moving forward, high-profile names are being summoned, and who knows what may happen next?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
The entire case is false. It is fabricated. They have targeted AAP and BRS party in this because they wanted power in Telangana, so that they wanted to trouble us. They wanted to malign our image, and they could not win Mr. Kejriwal on ground. They have lost badly, even in a municipal election. So they are going to do this, and we know that we understand, how they are doing it, and we will fight that. And the case is a big joke. Only BJP, the central government, and CBI knows what exactly the case is.
Okay.
The people of this country never understood. There are no evidence, there is no money found.
Well, sir,
there is no evidence found.
if there is no evidence, I'm sure the courts of this country will take action. I request you to stay with us on the broadcast. Mr. Majid Memon of the TMC is also with us on the show. Mr. Memon, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by CBI. Your thoughts?
You see, the atmosphere in the country and the attending circumstances preceding the call for questioning of the Chief Minister of Delhi creates a very strong suspicion in an absolutely unbiased and fair mind of the people of this country. I am not speaking as a part of the opposition political party.
Yeah.
I am speaking as a lawyer, as a citizen of India. And I am just suggesting that look here as to what is happening. Every political leader whom they cannot defeat, which is on the ground, is being witch hunted, is being called, harassed, questioned, arrested, kept in custody. Now, how long will this continue? And I think people are able to understand the name of the current establishment. They are trying to conquer people by use of agencies, by abuse of law, and therefore I think there is going to be an end of this very soon.
Let's see, sir, how this transpires. Manjinder Singh Sirsa of the BJP and Anju Mara from the JDU are also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Sirsa, you heard the TMC and, the BRS. They argue that this is a political witch hunt and vendetta, and opposition leaders in the run-up to 2024 are being targeted.
So have you ever seen any thief saying कि मैंने तो चोरी की है? Everybody says कि I'm so innocent, I'm so pious. And now when it comes to a liquor scam, everybody knew that how they increased the duty profit margin from 2% to 12% to business to the few selected people who were the close friends of Arvind Kejriwal. And for that purpose, they made a 3 ministers committee, and that committee has recommended that from 2% commission, it should be increased to 12%. So tell me one business in this country where government gives you a fixed profit of 12% and then they say कि हम तो कट्टर ईमानदार हैं. And none other than the close side of Arvind Kejriwal, whom Arvind Kejriwal used to visit on his birthday parties, on his children's birthday parties, Dinesh Arora, who is a witness now in this case, and who before the magistrate had said that how this money was transferred to Goa, to Gujarat, by Manish Sisodia, Arvind Kejriwal, and then the BRS leader's daughter, Kavita.
Okay.
So the day I reported this, the day I filed this complaint, everybody was saying, इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं है. And now the CBI and ED has found crores and crores rupees in their accounts. Cash has been recovered. And Manish Sisodia is behind bars and many other are behind bars from last 7 months.
We also had Mr. Amit Malviya with us on the broadcast some time ago, and he argued the same thing, sir, that if there's nothing in the cases and there is no evidence on record, the courts will throw out these cases. They will not prosecute on the basis of this. Anju Mara of the JDU is also joining us. Anjum जी, आपकी प्रतिक्रिया चाहूंगी. दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री को सीबीआई ने समन किया है.
देखिए, ये कोई आश्चर्यजनक बात और बहुत ताज्जुब करने वाली बात नहीं है. जब से हम लोगों ने देखा है, और हम लोग इसको कहते भी रहे हैं पहले भी, कि जितनी विपक्षी एकता हम लोग की बन रही है, हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, उतना ही तेजी से केंद्र की सरकार इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसियों को, अपने विपक्षियों को कंट्रोल में नियंत्रित करने के लिए वो कार्रवाई कर रही है। केंद्र सरकार संवैधानिक संस्था का वो राजनीतिक हथियार के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर रही है। ये बहुत एक खतरनाक उनकी कोशिश है। तो ये बहुत आश्चर्य का विषय है। मेरा एक सीधे सा सवाल है कि जो उनके यहाँ लोग हैं, नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नितेश संदेशरा, मेहुल चोकसी, विश्व का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम अडानी स्कैम, सीबीआई को सीबीआई उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं करती है, क्यों खामोश है वहां पे? निश्चित रूप से आप देख लीजिए,
बीजेपी की तरफ से जो तर्क आया है, अभी कुछ समय पहले मैं उनसे भी बात कर रही थी, उनका ये कहना है कि अगर इन केसों में कुछ भी नहीं है, किसी भी तरीके का साक्ष्य नहीं है, प्रमाण नहीं है, एविडेंस नहीं है, तो इस देश में न्यायालय है, अदालतें हैं, आप अदालत के सामने जाइए और बोलिए कि मुझे गलत तरीके से गिरफ्तार किया गया है और अदालत आपकी मदद करेगी। सत्येंद्र जैन या मनीष सिसोदिया को अभी तक कोई राहत नहीं मिल पाई है, बेल नहीं मिल पाई है, इसलिए क्योंकि प्राइमा फेसी, प्राथमिक रूप से प्रथम दृष्टा उनके खिलाफ किसी न किसी तरीके के आरोप हैं और दूसरी तरफ कहीं ना कहीं साक्ष्य भी है, इसलिए कोर्ट्स ने उनको अभी तक किसी तरीके की राहत नहीं दी है।
और देखिए, हम लोग जुडिशरी में, न्यायपालिका में विश्वास करने वाले लोग हैं, इसमें कहीं दो राय नहीं है कि जो भी फैसला है जुडिशरी का हम लोग उसको मानते हैं। लेकिन जो इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसियां काम कर रही हैं, जो उनकी टाइमिंग है, उस पर तो सवाल उठेगा ना, और लाजमी है सवाल उठना। हमारे यहाँ देखिए कि आदरणीय तेजस्वी यादव जी पे 8 साल से सीबीआई में 8 साल पहले वो केस दर्ज था, वो केस बंद हो गया। जैसी विपक्ष महागठबंधन बिहार में 7 पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां एकजुट हुई, आप देखिए वो फिर से पुनः इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हो गया। हमारा कहना है कि ये इतने सारे लोग जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के संरक्षण में, उनकी सुरक्षा में, ये करप्शन में लिप्त हैं, जो लोग कभी भ्रष्टाचारी माने जाते थे और आज उनकी पार्टी में दल में गए हैं, तो बीजेपी लॉन्ड्री जो एक लोटस लॉन्ड्री के रूप में हो गई, वो निकलते हैं और उसको सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाता है कि आप अब संस्कारी हैं, भ्रष्टाचारी नहीं है। सो मेनी नाम है वो अगर अब समय रहे तो मैं वो दिखा दूं।
नहीं अंजुम जी, मैं आपका जो मूल तर्क है वो समझ गई हूँ। आई गेट द ब्रॉड आर्गुमेंट दैट यू आर मेकिंग अंजुमारा। आई अप्रिशिएट यू जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट एंड आई थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। कटिंग अक्रॉस टू माय कॉलीग आयुष्मान एज वेल, ही इज जॉइनिंग अस फ्रॉम द न्यूज रूम। ही हैज सम मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन। आयुष्मान, व्हाट मोर डू यू हैव? All right, we'll just try and connect with Ayushman. There are some more details which are coming in by the way of agencies, and they'll tell us more about what exactly the capacity. My colleague Ashish Mahershi has been reporting on the story, and as he pointed out, there's a particular call that was made by Vijay Nair. It was a video call. Allegedly, it was said by the Chief Minister's office that Vijay Nair is his man and they should go forward. That call is one piece of puzzle that the agencies are trying to solve, that along with Manish Sisodia, was there also an involvement of the Delhi Chief Minister? There's also the entire argument of the kickbacks. Yes, allegedly Manish Sisodia is involved, but the Central Bureau of Investigation believes that this kind of policy decision could not have been taken without keeping the Chief Minister in loop. And is there a criminality to his involvement, to his alleged involvement in this entire matter? That's something we have to wait and watch. These two particular instances are the piece of puzzle that the agency is going to join and see and ask Mr. Kejriwal that how exactly transpired, and is there any veracity to the claims that have been made so far. Ashish Mahershi back with us on the broadcast. So Ashish, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal deposes before the Central Bureau of Investigation, what will happen? Will he be asked questions? Will there be a written questionnaire? What is the SOP?
So usually the process is basically that either the statement is written by hand, or if somebody is not willing to write, then there is a typist who basically types each and every page, and then subsequently you sign on it. That is what the process is. But it will be interesting to see what sort of questions will be asked. But if you see, as I said, there are two areas of concern which for Arvind Kejriwal, reason being that if you see the statement that has been given